Buenas noches, profesora. Buenas noches, estudiantes. Siendo las 7:30, damos inicio a nuestra sesión número 8, sesión reprogramada de técnicas interactivas para la enseñanza del inglés. Clase impartida por la profesora Olga Salazar. Profesora, paso a compartir los parámetros de la sesión.
Gracias, Rafa. Ok.
Estimados estudiantes, estos son los parámetros de las sesiones por videoconferencia. Las sesiones se graban para que podamos tener acceso a ellas nuevamente desde nuestra plataforma virtual. Les solicitamos que por favor silencien su micrófono y puedan activarlo cuando quieran hacer consultas o aportes con el permiso del docente. Les pedimos mantengan su cámara activa. De no poder hacerlo, enviar sus excusas por el chat de Zoom o de lo contrario, se han retirado de la sesión y les han restado puntos de la heterovaloración del docente. Mi rol como moderador es apoyarles y facilitarles la parte técnica. Las consultas las hacemos por el chat personal o general. Es exhorto tener bolígrafo y papel para hacer sus anotaciones y aprovechar al máximo estas sesiones. Sesiones que tienen un tiempo de duración de 60 minutos o una hora. Estamos listos, profesora.
Gracias, Rafa. Voy a esperar 5 minutos por mis estudiantes, ¿ok?
Perfecto, profesora.
Good evening, guys. Okay, let's start with the last class. We are going to talk about debate and panel discussion. Before I start the class, I would like to remember that you have some assignment and some videos and reading that you have to develop, as well as a test for each part of the subject. Remember that the subject have 5 parts, and each part has assignments, has a test as well. Okay. Let's see how a panel discussion look like. Let's see an example about this.
¿Sensibilidad y sangrado? Eso puede ocurrir por la acumulación de bacterias. Los expertos...
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to our English class. Today, we are going to talk about panel discussion. Are you ready to listen? Then, let's begin. Are you familiar with these scenarios? What do they show? Correct. They show panel discussion. Have you ever been to a panel discussion? If yes, then that's great. We define panel discussion as a small group discussion which consists of 4 to 5 well-informed persons who sit at the table on a platform or stage before a group. Now, you are looking at an example picture of a panel group discussion. Examine it very carefully. A panel discussion consists of different members with different respective roles. Let's discuss them one by one. The first member, the moderator. He or she is the leader who tries to make the flow of the proceedings or actions function as smoothly as possible. He or she addresses the audience, announces the topic, and introduces the panel members. And he or she interprets statements made by the audience and resolves possible conflicts among or between the panel members and the audience. The second one, the panel members. They are the discussants or guests of the given topic. They answer the questions raised by the moderator. Lastly, we have the audience. They are the viewers or listeners. They may also raise questions to the panel members. Now, let's discuss the different procedures in a panel discussion. The first one, the leader or moderator introduces the topic, and the panelists present their views and opinions regarding the issue. Second, the panelists discuss the issue or topic and react to other panel members' views and opinions. A specific amount of time should be set. Number 3, the leader or moderator closes the discussion and provides a summary of panel presentation and discussion. And number 4, the leader or moderator calls for forum to all the members of the class to address some questions, views, and opinions to the panelists. Now that we're done, let's try this activity. Get a piece of paper and let's do this. Below are the statements from the script of a panel discussion.
Okay, let's continue. So now we know what is a panel discussion. So we have a group of persons discussing about a specific topic. So it is a discussion in which few persons carry on conversation in front of the audience. At the end of the discussion, audience also participate. The audience put an important question at the expert, answer them, and clarify the point. So, how to host successful a panel discussion? So, choosing an interesting topic. Pick a panel topic that create a buzz in the industry from which panelists can easily contribute their knowledge. Read the news and see if anything sparks an interest. Make a list of the auction and begin the selection process by elimination. Know your purpose. Ask the value you seek to create or your main motivation for achievement goal in a panel discussion. Next, get to know your audience, their preference, ages, and the topic that may interest them. Check the assumptions or bases they may have and the challenge they face that need to be solved. Prepare a list of questions ahead of time. List down all questions in advance and discussion them with panelists. Panel members will want to feel confident discussion about a particular topic. It is an advice for you. You have to give the question before start the panel discussion. This is a question in the test. There is a question in the test about this topic. Therefore, I send 2 or 3 questions per panel member and be sure to send them before the set date. It will help the answer question naturally or prepared by listening down their point before the conference. Choose the right panelists. Of course, you have to select experts in the topic you are going to develop. Get more information about the panel topic and determine the speakers who are knowledgeable and can offer unique perspective. It will be interesting to invite a speaker with different experience to create an engagement and meaningful discussion. Research about the panelists to ensure that they are experts who can contribute something valuable from their vast array of experience or knowledge. Go back to their past speaking engagement to observe how they respond to questions and if they can effectively impact the audience. Give time for panelists to prepare. For a panel discussion to be successful, it needs to have an ample time for preparation. Other than listing down all the questions, you will be asking ahead of time. Tell them about what they should participate from the audience. So here are some examples about the question. What are their expectations from the discussion? What are their most significant pain points and challenges that need to be addressed? What actionable insight can you offer? To collect information before the panel event, you can use a tool that can help you analyze data and insight from the audience. When panelists know all this, they can find the right data cases or statistics to support their answers. A strong moderator should lead. A good moderator has the right skills to turn a session into engagement and fruitful conversation. To keep everyone interested, moderator do the following. Let's talk about the moderator. Prepare the question and prompt. Okay, let's see this video.
Identify whether the
Soberana presenta Fonseca y su Tropicalia Tour en el Festival Tipiqueo Pa'l Mundo este 25 de enero en Plaza Figali.
Participating in a panel discussion provides a great opportunity to interact with experts. Whether you're the moderator or a panelist, preparation is important. As you watch the following panel discussion, focus on the strategies used and not the setting. Make note of how the panelists respond and interact. Keep in mind you'll be holding a panel discussion for your assignment in this project, and pay close attention to the techniques the moderator uses to keep the discussion on time and on topic.
Today, we're talking about a fear that many of us can relate to, glossophobia, the fear of public speaking. As a professor of public speaking, I've observed just how paralyzing this fear is for my students. Each of our panelists brings a unique perspective that helps us better understand this fear and overcome it. Dr. Frank Silva is a neuroscientist who researches human fear. Stephanie Harris is a motivational speaker who helps others overcome their fear. And Betty Irwin is a behavioral therapist who's equipped patients to work through fear and excel in their professional lives. We all know that just the thought of public speaking can elicit fear and anxiety in many people. In fact, numerous surveys have identified public speaking as people's greatest fear. Thank you all for being here today. Please briefly share with us how you've seen the fear of public speaking demonstrated in your own work.
The moderator established the discussion topic and then introduced himself and shared his credentials. He introduced each panelist, citing their areas of expertise. He started the discussion by sharing his knowledge and then immediately engaged the panelists with a relevant question. Let's return and see how the panelists respond.
Thank you for sharing your experiences. What I hear you all saying is that our fear of public speaking is not really about public speaking. Ms. Harris, can you tell us more?
Yes. At my seminars, I ask attendees to answer the question, why am I afraid of this? Without fail, they discover a greater underlying fear. For example, a person who says she's afraid of public speaking may actually fear rejection. However, it's also a psychological response. I'd love to hear Dr. Silva's perspective as a neuroscientist.
The moderator asked an open-ended question instead of one that could be answered yes or no. The panelists confidently shared her expertise. Because she was aware that another panelist may have been better equipped to answer that specific question, she also deferred to the knowledge of others. Let's go back and see what happens next.
As I mentioned a moment ago, when you change the way you think about public speaking, you can change the way you feel about public speaking. It reminds me of some research I once conducted on how we can change bad habits.
Thank you, Dr. Silva, for your thoughts on the importance of shifting our thinking. Let's come back to your thoughts on this if we have time at the end. I want to make sure we hear from all panelists. Ms. Irwin, as a behavioral therapist, how do you recommend we overcome our fear of public speaking?
The most important thing we can do with any fear is to face it. Of course, Dr. Silva, it's important to change the way we think. But what's more effective is placing ourselves in situations where we will be challenged.
There will be times in most panel discussions when a panelist either talks too long or veers off topic. In this example, the moderator kept track of time and respectfully returned the conversation to the primary topic, giving a different panelist an opportunity to share. I hope you also noted the way one panelist disagreed with the other panelist without getting personal. The next segment of this video demonstrates how to conduct a question and answer session.
Thank you all for sharing your thoughts. Let's take a few minutes and hear any questions our audience has. Please, raise your hands if you have any questions for our panelists. Yes.
Let's say someone decides to face his fear of public speaking and puts himself in situations where he'll be challenged. How long will it take before he feels comfortable and loses those feelings of fear?
Thank you. The question is, how long will it take to overcome fear so public speaking feels more comfortable? Miss Irwin, this is your field. Would you care to share your thoughts?
It's your job as the moderator to keep track of time and move on to a question and answer session if you've planned one. In this example, the moderator invited questions from the audience, repeated the question, and determined which panelist was most appropriate to answer. Next, we'll see what happens when there's a controversial question, and also how the moderator brings the discussion to a close.
Looks like we have time for just one more question. Yes.
I have a real problem with Dr. Silva's premise that we can overcome such a real, tangible fear with simple, positive thinking. That's a pretty naive response to a very real issue. If it was that easy, why aren't more people world-renowned speakers?
Dr. Silva, would you like to share more about the impact of positive thinking?
Of course. A positive attitude won't necessarily make the fear disappear, but it can help us face it. There are several techniques one can apply.
Thank you for your participation in today's discussion. Our panelists are available for a few minutes if you would like to speak with them.
Challenging questions may arise during a panel discussion. In this example, the moderator stayed calm and poised. He gave the appropriate panelist the opportunity to provide clarification. To close the session, he thanked the audience and invited them to speak with the panelist. Applying these strategies will help you successfully moderate a panel discussion and equip you to prepare and respond when asked to serve on a panel.
So what is ClickUp?
Okay, let's continue. So talking about the question for the panelists, so keep in mind that it's necessary to ask concise and powerful questions relevant to the audience. If you want to make sure which question to ask, you can crowdsource question by emailing attended and inquiring what they want to know. Make the best room for attendance. You can opt for an independent venue that specializes in a specific type of events. Check if the cost suit the budget, but however, the cost of the value is just one part of the process. Here are a few other factors to consider when looking for the right venue. Atmosphere, pick a buy that suit the target audience, and then location. Choose a great location so participants can participate and focus more. Prepare your cook-off phrases ahead of time. This is more for the moderator. So get ready to cook off long-winded answer that may confuse everyone in the discussion. So this cook-off phrase is for when you have a panel that talk a lot of talk and talk and talk, and you have to stop it. So you use this kind of cut-off phrases. Engage the audience, create a panel discussion that is audience focuses. Even planners should engage attending in Lead 4 or Q8. It is also essential to remind panelists to give information that is relatable to the audience. So have a microphone in the audience for the question and answer session. So make it clear that the group aim is meaningful in exchange of ideas. Remind everyone to speak with respect by paying attention. Ask for the goal they have in mind for engaging in the discussion. And mention your responsibility as a facilitator. Will you only choose to lead the discussion? Of course not. A structured panel discussion format. So these are a traditional format that will serve as the framework of the other form. So mainstay style short by impact panel discussion with panel member, the keynoter, mainstay presenter, or invited panelists. There will be no audience, QA style. Okay, my dear student, this is all for today. So I hope you complete your assignment in the platform because I want to grade it. Okay? See you and Happy New Year. Rafael, terminé, mi amor.
Listo, profesora, gracias. Si no tenemos más consultas o aportes, podemos dar como finalizada la sesión, sin antes recordarle a los estudiantes la importancia del llenado de la autovaloración estudiantil. La misma tiene una ponderación del 5% de su nota final y me imagino que ya está habilitada. Profesora, tenga un
Feliz
excelente,
año.
un feliz año. Será entonces hasta después. Gracias, profesora. Gracias,
Hasta
estudiantes.
luego. Bye bye.